to all. My name is Jelena Ilic. This is my colleague Antonia Lelas. We are here to introduce you a session about stress regulation that is part of a bigger curriculum we called From Stressed Out to Stressless, and how we usually use to tackle the topic of stress and what does it doing us or to our lives. Just ask Antonia if she can do one pose that can maybe show us how she is feeling at the moment. Can you show me with the pose how you are feeling at this particular moment? Okay, so this is a nice pose. I guess she is in a good mood, but I can ask her to enlarge this pose for, let's say, 10%. It changes a bit, the feeling inside, I suppose, as well. Now I ask her to enlarge it even more, maybe 20%. Okay, it looks like she's losing balance a little bit. Can you enlarge it like 40%? And there goes Antonia. So this is what stress usually does to us. We feel like we are kicked out of our balance or our natural rhythm or natural way of doing things. When I say natural, I think in a way that we feel comfortable and we don't use too much effort to do things or to work on something. But when we are it means that we are somewhere maybe 20% pressured by the new thing we need to do, different thing that we need to do, or something that is considered for us that goes beyond our capacity or perception of inner resources we have to deal with the change. So when we define stress, we usually think of stressors and triggers. So what maybe triggers your stress?
Lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep. So our physical condition and our physical well-being influence our capacities to deal with, let's say, daily stress. On the other hand, there are people who sleep very little, and this is not the thing that evokes their capacity to deal with stress. So personal capacities dealing with the stress are very, very subjective. And so the same stressor actually does not trigger stress reaction both in her and in me. Maybe I'm very functional even when I don't sleep as much as I need. So when we try to define stress, it does not mean that there is a universal stressor all over the world that triggers stress response in every person. The stress actually is defined as an interaction between two evaluation or two subjective perceptions of the circumstances or what is happening and what needs to be changed, and a judgment of our own capacities that we can handle it or not. In this interaction, we somehow personalize the stress situation. So Sometimes when I work with a group, I ask them to think about what are the situations that can trigger stress in their life and how they actually feel it, how they know that they are under the stress. Because besides knowing the triggers and situations that make us stressful, it's important when we entering the field of stress regulation and stress management that we are aware of the body signals or other signals, because symptoms of stress can be both in our bodies, or can be in our minds, or can be emotional, or can be behavioral. So we can really respond to stress in all, like the whole being. Some people get headache, some people are going to sleep too much, some people eat too much, some people have fatigue constantly, some people maybe lose their concentration, some people can have a problem in their digestion. Some people try to diminish the influence of a stressful situation by consuming different things, like more alcohol, some drugs, and some of the ways we cope with stress can really be unhealthy and have a negative, even more negative impact on our functioning and our health than the stress itself. So learning to deal with stress in a healthy way, having healthy coping mechanism is really important, and a life skill that can bring us more, not only more healthier attitude toward daily stress and regulation, but life in general.
Okay, so this is the stress performance curve. Often think about the stress as a negative thing. As a negative thing, it's something that we should avoid completely. But actually, we all need a little bit of stress. And during the evolution as a human being, we evoluted because of stress. Because stress was giving us symptoms of dangerous animals, of dangerous environment. So this is why we are here today, because of the stress. If we are in this first zone, if we have too stress in our lives, we are actually quite lazy, we are active, and we don't have the motivation to do anything. So this is why we need a little bit of stress. We need to go into this zone where we have optimum stress. It's enough to push us. It's enough for a young person to be pushed by deadlines and exams to actually study before. It's good that we on work-related tasks have deadlines, because deadlines pushes us to finish something. But we also have to be careful in this glorifying stress, saying that, oh, I work great under pressure, constantly, I just need more pressure to be more productive or more efficient, because after this peak performance, we go into the exhaustion. Our performance, our motivation, our focus, everything is diminished. And these physical symptoms and long-term negative impact of stress comes to action. So this is where we have too much stress, we are overloaded, and this is the time when body is sending us signals to do something, to change something, to activate and go back into these less stressful areas. If we do not react, if we do not listen to our body, if we don't know how to recognize this, or even if we recognize it and think, but I just need to work harder, I just need to push more, then we go in a burnout. We go anxiety, panic, breakdown, and it's really hard to even have the ability to do anything there. We are almost helpless. After this stage, people usually need at least 30 days of complete rest to recover. So stress isn't all that bad. We do need it, we all need it, we needed it through history. So avoid this negative connotation that you initially have with it. We all need it a little bit, but we also need to learn how to recognize ourselves, our bodies, our reaction, where are we into this optimum stress, and where is it going to the exhaustion, in order to recognize it and avoid burnout. So what I'm interested now, what I would like to know more about now, is what to do when I'm in this exhaustion phase. What I need to do, Yela, when I hit exhaustion. What then? Because I don't want to go in the red zone, I don't want to go in the burnout. How can I return from this exhaustion phase? Can you help me, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
So people have different coping styles. So different techniques that they are using to deal with their when they are under the stress. But important thing to know maybe is, no matter, as Antonia says, if the stress is good or bad, if the stress is coming from you having a big test or exam, or it's coming from you preparing yourself for your wedding or a nice event. So both these of triggering situations actually it evokes the same body response. So at the end, stress is a way of our body to solve the problem. And this response of our body goes very much the same as Antonia showed the line of the curve. So first, our body is in alarm phase, give us a lot of energy to deal what needs to be done. Then we are a little bit in a fatigue phase, but we are still very, very functional and under a lot of instruments in the organism that gave us actually additional energy. In the first moment, our brain under the stress is kicked out, like the thinking brain is kicked out in this alarm phase. In the second phase, we are starting to resolve the problem. We are being productive, our concentration is better, and we feel actually quite energized and good. But when we reach exhaustion phase, our body says, make a pause, take rest, go to sleep. So usually when young people finish their exams, the first thing they do, they go have a nap or do so. That is a very natural way of going to the optimal level again. And this is important thing that we need to have in mind, that the stress has this circular mechanism which help us raise the energy, put us in a top level functioning, but then it needs to have a period of recovery so we go back to our optimal level again. If this exhaustion or restful time or restful period is not happening, we are then going into the breakdown and burn out. So, how to regroup, how to re-energize, how to go back to optimum level so we can be stressed again, because stress is a normal part of life. it's not something that is directly connected to our mental health, but can influence it if we don't take care of ourselves. And there are a few coping styles that people very easily recognize. Some people believe when they are under the stress that some higher power will help them. So they have this strong belief that things will be okay. They are somehow more resilient to go through the stressful period. It can be something related to religion, but it can be something related very, very deeper, your inner compass, to your inner beliefs. I will get through this. And having strong belief in yourself really makes you more resilient. Some people need to share their emotions when they feel distressed. So they really need to talk a little bit about how they feel while going through some stressful time. So they go to therapists maybe, or they go and have a coffee with a best friend, or they go and they approach to colleague and say, this makes me really, really difficult to think about it, and can we try to make a pause or something like this. So sharing with others really, really helps. Some people find it very beneficial for them to, when they are under stress, to think about other people, to reach and to give help to somebody who is maybe more in need. So volunteering is a part of a stress regulation style as well. Doing something for somebody else, being in a role in some maybe organization, and having a responsibility that makes you proud, makes you good about yourself, can bring us relief of the other things that make us stressful, but can bring us closer to other people and reconnect us with others. Then we can have emotional support from them as well, or we can be guided by somebody who maybe have more wisdom than we have. Then there are people who, when they are under the stress, they like to read, they like to laugh a lot. So humor is a big style. They like to draw, they like to sing, they like to dance maybe. Dancing is a perfect combination of several coping styles, like not only imagination, but physical coping style as well. Many people, when they feel stressed or overburdened, they first try to calm their bodies. So they go walking, swimming, dancing, and that's what actually energizes them and relaxes them, so they can follow the daily problems in a better way. And then you have problem solvers. So the people who, when feel tension and feel pressure to resolve something, they really, really need to tackle the issue immediately. They don't share the feelings, they don't go do something to think less about the problem, they even think more about the problem. They are searching for information, searching for more knowledge, making them more capable to deal with the stressful situation. So we all have different coping styles. Some of them may be more closer to us personally, but what is good is that all styles can be developed. So if I see that in some situations, maybe when stress is coming from some intellectual or a mental issue or a problem that needs to be dealt by very much of thinking, maybe I would prefer a physical coping style as an option. If the pressure is coming from, let's say, being constantly under the time pressure or overloaded of too much tasks during the day, maybe pausing and doing something completely different, like listening 10 minutes of music or doing a relaxation practice could be an option. So in a way, we can use different coping styles when we are stressed with different pressures. And one of the options as well to help yourself is to learn how to take care of yourself. For that, you can use mandalas, so different drawings that really comes down. And besides, while you are doing this, you can maybe even practice breathing. So for breathing, you can draw eights or these infinity signs. You can go breathe in, breathe out. So while you're drawing, you can even do breathing techniques. Or what else you can do? You can listen to meditation. You can put, if you like relaxing music and you want to focus on beautiful thoughts or even neutral thoughts that makes you more feeling relaxed and calms you down, you can always listen to some meditation. It's important that practicing different relaxation mindful techniques, no matter which one you choose, you actually practice how to be more conscious about your thoughts, your body, and your emotions. And these many different techniques are somewhere in YouTube or available in different platforms, but most of them, they are following this mindful circle, and this mindful circle looks like this. You start with a breathing exercise, you focus on your breathing. It's important that we focus on our breathing because when we are stressed, our breathing gets different. We breathe shallow and we breathe fast. So the first thing that you can do for yourself is learn to find your natural rhythm of breathing. So just to breathe evenly, but with your full attention. So breathe in and breathe out with your full attention, and as much as you can, you breathe deep, not shallow, but you start to prolong your inhaling and exhaling. So first focus on our breathing, then whatever comes to our mind, so our thoughts will attack us, that's natural. As Antonia mentioned earlier in our session to participants, it's probably 10 to 60,000 thoughts during the day that are attacking our consciousness. But only one thought can be present in a full awareness. And it would be better for us that this thought is positive or productive to us, at least that is neutral, that does not provoke negative response from our body. Bad thoughts, heavy emotions, body gets one response. Positive thoughts or neutral thoughts in mind, neutral emotional state, and somehow more harmonized body. So it's good to learn how to catch our thoughts and to let them go. So if the negative thoughts are coming, you say, I'm hearing you, I didn't wash my dishes today, and you say, okay, that's not important at the moment, and you let go. Usually we are attacked with all the things that we haven't done, so something from past, or the things that needs to be done, or so something from future. But we need to practice to be in presence, because being in presence calms us down, grounds us. So you welcome all the thoughts that are coming, and then you let them go, let them pass. And we refocus and redirect our attention again on the breathing, and we breathe again. We find again our rhythm, we try to prolong or make it a little bit deeper, and this is how actually mindfulness circle functions.